this morning is Tuesday morning and we're experiencing a little bit of that June gloom outside. Yeah, so I'm gonna take you guys with me today and hopefully the rest of the week to talk a little bit about what life doing research is like. And this obviously I'm more of a rookie when it comes to some of these things, but just some of the general ideas of what doing research is like, especially in a STEM field. I just got up this morning, showered, braided my hair because didn't wash my hair today, and I'm gonna make some breakfast and then get ready for my daily Zoom call with my team. Hello again. It's Tuesday afternoon and I'm starting to get a little impatient with some of this stuff, and I'll show you guys why. Basically, the problem that I'm running into right now has to do with my analytical solution. This is my quadruple solution and this is my dipole solution. So this is something that my professor had already made, and what we're looking at is that the regularities around r equals 0. So on this x-axis I have r, and on the y-axis I have a phi. So basically what I'm doing is I have to hope that it's regular around r equals 0. So as you can see here, it converges into this one point, and that's 0. So that means that a phi is 0 at r equals 0. So when the radius is 0, a phi is 0. However, this other side, we have something much more complicated, or something that's just not going right, which means that my solution is messed up. But essentially, as you can see, at around r equals 0, I'm getting these whack little like truncated things, and that's because at r equals 0, this function actually goes to infinity. So what I have to do now is basically look at my function that I had and manipulate it, or not manipulate it, but basically we had made an assumption that perhaps we shouldn't have been making about this quadruple solution. So that's kind of my job now, to determine whether we should have been making that assumption or not, and maybe that's changing that will change the behavior around r equals 0. But yeah, this is kind of the story of research. Oh, and my hair looks kind of crazy. But basically, it's a lot of finding your errors and making sense of what's not making sense, you know? And as you can see, it can get really frustrating. Like me today, I've had to do the same exact, or not the same exact math, but just like the same kind of math all day, just trying to figure out why this is behaving the way it is. And a lot of it is kind of like gaps in my own understanding, but I think ultimately this is going to help me understand this problem better. So I hope that it works in our favor. But yeah, I think I might probably call it soon. If not, do a little bit more math, and we'll talk about this tomorrow. Hello everyone, so I'm at it again, and just casually keeping doing. I'm still doing the math for this. It's kind of insane how much I've been at it, and it's like I just want it to be over. I did it. Okay, so here's just a quick reminder. I would highly encourage you guys to get a look at Mathematica. So sometimes when you're solving a lot of these problems, like the math can get really complicated really fast, and although it's really straightforward, like what I was doing, it was basically taking derivatives of things. Like I spent about like 2 full days, or maybe 3 full days, like taking derivatives and checking my answer and realizing it was wrong, and then like trying to find my mistake, and it was just like errors and negative signs, or you know, chain rule stuff or product rule stuff. So yeah, I think sometimes you gotta take advantage of the tools that you have, and Mathematica is a great tool to have and to know how to use. And Mathematica is this program that basically does like a lot of computations for you. So yeah, I would just highly encourage you guys to, if you're interested, obviously, find out if your school has a code for Mathematica and if you can get it, because honestly, lifesaver. Like the math that it took me like 2 days to do because it was just straight up like checking whatever, 4 lines in my code, and that's it. And I'm pretty sure it's right, so yeah, use computers. So what I'm working on today is basically babysitting my runs. So what I'm doing is I have this little script that basically sets up a batch of runs in which I'm checking different amplitudes. So this is where I'm like trying to get into this critical phenomena. And from that amplitude, I just have to check whether this wave collapses to a black hole or it doesn't. And basically what I mean by babysitting is I set up the run and then I check the results. Yeah. Sometimes a lot of my time is spent organizing files just to make sure that everything is clear, so that if I'm ever looking for one specific file, I can see where it is. So in this Linux directory, I just make directories and move directories around, and you know, it makes it easier, like I said, to navigate through all the data that I've accumulated. Hello again. So today is Wednesday and I had a couple of interesting meetings today. Today was a long day for my research advisor and I. We have been working through a lot of new things that we're trying to implement into the code. So obviously this is kind of like, he makes these programs and then sends them to me after he tests them, and I like basically work on implementing them into the big board code. And so that I have to look, that's one of the things I have to look forward to, as well as just looking at some other just looking at some other runs that I have done before and checking, you know, trying to make sure that everything is working. Also on today's mind, what's on my mind today, I have been starting to think about future stuff, like what's next in my career, you know, and I think one of the biggest, I guess, things that would make sense for me to do would be, I don't know, I guess the big question is grad school. Like, am I interested in going? I think I am, and I think that's what today's meeting was about with my other professor, about, you know, what are the next steps that I need to take. So I guess I wanted to ask you guys if you would be interested in seeing kind of like my journey at trying to apply to grad schools as a physics candidate. Yeah, I mean, I know there'll be a lot of things that I have to work through. Like, obviously, I really want to, as you guys know from my previous video, like set up a schedule for my studying for the GRE, because I would have to take not only the GRE, but also the subject test GRE for physics. So that would be like something that I have to work through. And yeah, I guess if you guys are interested, I would love to do something like that, and maybe like some study tips for that as I'm, you know, navigating my way around it. But yeah, let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in, because I definitely have to go through it, and I maybe would like to film it and take you guys with me as well. Yeah, I guess the rest of the day is just gonna be doing what I usually do, checking my runs, comparing results, watching a show in between runs, but also like reading the textbook that I should probably be getting more familiar with. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Hello everyone and happy Friday. So I think today's gonna be the last day of this vlog. I know I've kind of dragged it on pretty long because obviously I wanted to post this video like 3 weeks ago, but I got pretty busy doing work and just other things, and yeah, but altogether I think today is gonna be a great last day. I think I'm closing something that I've been doing this past couple of weeks, and now I'm moving on to something else, or I guess like refining what I had done and then like making it even better. So I think this past couple of days have actually been pretty frustrating just because, again, something in our code was not working. So my professor and I spent about like 2 hours this morning just debugging this code, making sure it compiled, making sure it was running. So when I mean compiled, it was like, you know, there's all these little pieces of the big boy code are like talking to each other and it made sense. So yeah, I think today it's gonna be a little bit more chill. I'm gonna set up some last runs and just enjoy a little bit of the sun. It's a Friday, so I'm excited, and it's really sunny here. Again, Maria here. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video if you're liking the content, and you know, I'll keep you guys posted on what I keep on doing.